You can't see it. 5:49 a.m. This is what happens when I wake up. And yes, I make lots of old man noises. I just happened to stumble across this video of a gentleman teaching how to improvise. And I was watching it. It made me think, as a teacher, how much am I babbling about stuff that really doesn't make any sense to a beginning student? Quite a lot. I think the best thing that I ever approached in the realms of improvisation was, instead of the guy that I watched, probably a good guitar player. He didn't do any jamming or anything, but apparently, he obviously knows his stuff. So, Andrew Clark. The first time I stumbled across one of his videos this morning. It was interesting. He was working through the E major scale, starting like in the middle of the guitar. Anyway, so he was doing that and just kind of describing like how to improvise within that scale. And if you're a real beginner and you take your time, a lot of time with it, pause the video and learn the scale shape and stuff up. Well, that's good, but I figured YouTube needed, another scrawny white guy teaching guitar lessons. So, anyway, without further, hang on. Without further ado, I thought that was a great lesson, by the way. So, Andrew Clark, if you stumble across this bit of babble from early in the morning, you did a good job. But another perspective and approach is, and I worked this with a lot of students, is the pentatonic scale. I know, it sounds so generic. I love it. Yeah. Sorry, I was just hired by Sony to record a really great new artist, and that's the only scale that they used. Anyway, so pentatonic scale. For those of you who don't know, in our very beginning guitar students, the pentatonic scale is the most commonly used scale, and it's a pretty easy shape because you use your nose picker and your pinker, and then the ring finger as well. Pretty easy. It's 2 notes per string. So, let's do a diddle where we're going to follow on the dots. Hang on, I'm going to switch it over to a clean sound because I just feel like it. All right, you see these little dots? First things first. Don't hunch over leaning like this, trying to look at your frets. You look like a goober. They make these cool things on the top side of the fretboard. And you can use your fret markers there. Right? So you can sit up straight and see where the heck you're at. I know the string thing is like a thing for new students, but anyway. What we're going to do is we're going to put our pointer finger on the 2nd fret, or 5th fret, the 2nd dot. Alright? And instead of going to the next dot, we're going to go 1 past that. Alright, pointer to pinky. Pretty easy shape there. Rock on! Metal! That's what Kirk Hammett uses. That's why, because it's, rock on, metal. And anyway. Next shape, we're going to move down a string, and your nose picker is going to stay in that fret space right there. Alright, so pick your nose first. Alright, get a good booger in there, and then play on your guitar. That's gross. So we have 5th fret and then 8th fret. If you can do simple math, then you can add. So 5 plus 1 is 6. 5 plus 2 is No, you're wrong. It's not 9. It's 7. 5 plus 3 is 8. Now, the next 3 strings are in a 2-fret interval. That means 1, 2. So 5 plus 2 is 3. No, I'm just kidding. It's 7. So 5, 7. Next string, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5 on the B string. Now this is where it gets a little tricky. 8, 5, 8. Let's do that again. All right. 5, 8 on the low E. 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8. That's a pentatonic scale for your real beginners. And what we did is we actually went through, I'm not going to do it now, but we went through all the notes in that scale. And I had him say it and play it. A, C, D, E, G, A, C, D, E, G, A, C. Okay? So that's what we did. We actually spent about like 20 minutes in a lesson just repeating that and getting those notes in his brain. So, I mean, really 20 minutes is nothing in the realms of practice time. And then what I had him do is I said, okay, can you point to me all the notes that are the letter A? A, A, A. Lol. All right, so we have all these notes. We have A here on the 5th fret. That's our starting point. And then we have A here on the 7th fret of the D string. And then our last A is on the 5th fret of the high E string. Excuse me. So what we did then is I said, all right, what I want you to do is start from the top and work your way down to the middle A. Then work your way back up. And we just worked some like different patterns through that, just going from A to A. A, I'm from Canada, A. I like to play the A. A. You're an AA. AA. All right, anyway, stupid joke, sorry. That's pretty much it for the pentatonic scale. Now, when it comes to improvisation, basically, like what I did and how I learned how to improvise was plagiarism, which is awesome. Okay? Sorry. But that's basically all that you're doing is you're taking riffs and these little snippets of solos you may learn and piecing them together. So the first solo I learned was the Crazy Train solo. I learned that in the first 8 months of getting my first guitar. I had the whole song down in 12 months of getting my first guitar. So I'm just gonna play it. I'm not gonna go through and waste your time on how to describe it, but I'm gonna just show you. So what we do is we have this nice little finger tapple. So I was doing that within 12 months of playing the guitar. And I played for about 3 hours every day. Saturdays and Sundays would usually be longer. And here's the one thing that I see a lot of people miss out on is don't give me your bullshit excuses of why you can't practice. It's a choice. You can either choose to practice or you can choose to sit there and play Fortnite. And pardon the language on this, but like, I mean, every single thing is an excuse. It's a very easy excuse why you can't spend more time practicing. Either you get bored and you move to something else, or you just don't feel like it. I'm up at 5:49 recording this video. I get up at 5 o'clock every morning. Usually spend about half an hour every morning hashing through routines and those kind of things. And if you think that, well, I don't get up early. I work 2 jobs. I'm a full-time guitar teacher, part-time at another business. So in the morning, I do budgeting with my own finances. I do accounting, bookkeeping, scheduling, and then I do a virtual meeting with a group of friends every morning. We started doing that during the pandemic, and it was just like a great group of friends, and now we do it every morning, 7 to 8 a.m. Some days I have to leave at 7:30 in the morning so I can get to work at 8, and then I'm not done till 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And then I have 2 children, and so they need fed, taken care of, bathed, all that kind of fun jazz. So by the time I'm done for the day, it's 9:30. Usually my day starts at 5 a.m. So I have to find time to practice. Now, I certainly don't have 3 hours a day like I did when I was in school, but you can easily get your schoolwork done if you put your nose to the grindstone, you work hard, get it done, do it right, and then make that choice. Don't sit in your own excuses. If you sit on the toilet long enough, you get a ring around your hiney. So get off the pity pot and get your fingers to the fretboard. I think that's the biggest thing. And that's one thing that, like, with my students, like, you didn't practice, it's your own fault. We're going to go through the same thing that we went through the past 3 weeks because you have not decided to pick up the guitar. You're getting frustrated with it? Good. You should. I remember sitting there for 2 weeks straight trying to learn the Crazy Train verse riff when I first started. It took me 4 weeks of learning Neil Morse's Alive Again by ear because there's no music out there for it. Was I frustrated? Yeah. Was it really close? Yeah. Did I finally get it? Yeah. So the idea is you need to be more stubborn than this piece of wood with metal strings. There's no excuse. It's a choice. And the difference between the great guitar players and the mediocre ones, Chris Tomlin, excuse me, oh gosh, did I say that out loud? Is it's that time spent with your instrument. I'm not a natural musician. I'm not one of those people that can, like, hear stuff and be like, oh, I can play this. I'm like, people that do, I'm like, fuck you. Pardon my French. But, like, I have to work at it. I might be, you can see me noodling. I'm okay. You know. I know some, weird scales and stuff and chord shapes. I know how to explain it all. That's fine. I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement. I don't have 3 hours a day to do that yet. Maybe one day I will. But excuses. Bottom line, I can get up early and set my alarm early. I can have some coffee and I can spend half an hour working my routines. Stop making excuses. Put your fingers to the fretboard and try. That's really all that there is to it. when it came to improvising and when it came to learning how to solo, what I did was I took that Crazy Train solo that I learned in the first 12 months of playing. So that routine, now that's not 100% accurate, but that's how I used to play it. But that started to develop my fingers to be able to move. Right there in the pentatonic scale, nice and easy. Then I started to expand. And then I learned. A trooper. Anyway, it's my coffee session for today.